All right.
Here we go. We are already live.
Okay.
I heard music, and so I said, okay, we can go live.
Does this sound okay?
Yes. What a beautiful lo-fi start.
Low key. This is quite hi-fi, I would say, the music.
Yeah, but isn't it safe to say that this was a lo-fi production? You would stick
No,
with
I think it's really extremely well produced and recorded.
Interesting. No, it was very enjoyable. Tell us a bit about it. At least I did not know about it.
Well, not really anyone knows. It's there's the credits of the guys. If you look on Discogs, they haven't done much. There's a second album by this project, Vision. The second album is really, really bad. It's like basically this is like a sort of like fusion, contemporary jazz, almost new agey to a certain extent. There's a lot of good tracks on this. I just put this track. This is not one of my. This is not even one of my favorites on it, but it might become. It's
what year is it, Stunty?
1980. It used to be a super cheap record. It kind of still is. Like you shouldn't pay more than $20 for it, but you should find it first. Like on Discogs, I think there's 2 copies, and after that, who knows when you see another copy next? Because it's really like, I mean, it's not directly a private press, but I mean, it's not something. It's on label called Music is Medicine. Um, yeah, there's 41 releases on that label. Late 70s, early 80s. It's from Washington, from Seattle, in Washington State. It's yeah, it's a good record. Just one of these things that like you put on, and from start to finish, yeah, you can have it in the background. It's very nice, even if at points it will become a little more like, oh, something nice just happened there.
Stanti, two questions.
Yep.
First is from Claude C. Is Vision the group name or the album name, or both?
It's both, unfortunately, which makes it a little difficult to Google, indeed.
Mhm.
But
Can
if you Google Vision 1980 Discogs and Music is Medicine, then you will find it. I assume that way.
Eternity Club is asking lo-fi as a genre. Is there
100%.
a lo-fi? Is there a lo-fi genre? And explain, if so, maybe you explain what does it stand for?
Maybe I play something after Thomas, and then we talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's
Hello, everyone. By the way.
Guten Abend, Thomas.
Guten Abend.
How are things?
I think the things are okay. It's holiday time in Denmark, and so holiday time means busy for those who work.
Again, third time this evening, 2 times behind scenes, now first time on screen. Words of a wise man.
Yeah, but it's good. I enjoy the little quietness and
yeah, that's for sure. Thomas, what do you have for us now?
I think I'm interested if this is a lo-fi or calm or whatever is this. Yeah.
Wow.
I was sure you knew. For more reasons, it's Swedish.
Yes,
And it's good.
it's amazing.
The whole record is amazing, I would say.
Yeah.
And somebody said it was like early 90s. It is like 1990 or something, but it's 1990. Per Tranbjerg.
Yeah.
Very nice. And yes,
Okay.
Justin, that was the first, yeah.
Well, like I wasn't planning to play it. I've played it. To be honest, I thought I had played that record already here some time ago, but I probably haven't. But I played it in my Friday stream a month ago because the reason I have this right here is because one of my listeners asked me to get a copy for him, and I was just checking checking it out. So I want to have fun a little bit though. I want both Michael and Thomas to pronounce the name of the artist.
Per Tranbjerg.
Yeah.
Per Tranbjerg.
Yeah. No, Michael was pretty good. The the TG is sh.
One question: has Thomas a copy a different jacket? You see the bluish?
Oh, it's the screen, the glare on the.
It's the light from the
computer.
Okay. I just thought Thomas might have the original and Stunty the repress. And...
So Per Tranbjerg, he was part of this band that I think I've played here in the recent past. Archimedes Badkar, the bathtub of Archimedes, which is a Swedish spiritual jazz fusion band. Really, 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 really cool. And he was part of a band in Per, who's mostly a percussionist, but he plays everything. He had a band called Percussion. Per, that's his first name. And he's also supposedly responsible for the very first hip hop record in Sweden in the like 83, 84, something like that.
Is it a cheap record or an expensive record? Sylvia's asking.
Semi-expensive. Like if you get it for under $100, then you have a good price. Like 70 bucks, 70 euros would be reasonable for it if it's a good copy. Here's his latest record that came out last year, I believe.
What a cover art! Very strong.
Yeah, it's
it's a box set.
Yeah, it's a box set, and it features, you have Dr. John on it, Bill Laswell. Like
Wow.
he's like loved by a lot of very very good international musicians. Like who else on there? Well, I mean, here you have him with Bill Laswell, Dr. John. And, he's a very unique figure that there's no. Let's say he could be like a mixture of John Hassel, Peter Gabriel, and Santana in a way, in terms of
Oh, that could be a worse mixture, right?
yeah.
Let's make a very bad mixture. Come on, Stanti, name the worst mixture you can imagine of 3 musicians. Come on, you like those questions. Come on, name it. Come on.
Schoenberg, Arnold Schoenberg, Robbie Williams, and
The third one is important now.
and Aqua.
Okay, I give it 8 out of 10 points. So you wanted to play some lo-fi to us, but don't play McCartney one.
I haven't, because I was just like thinking, what is this? Oh yeah, this is, and then I was looking for it. I didn't have time to line up. So, but I can put a track randomly here, and we'll see how it goes.
Roll me to the shore. She don't wanna be my friend no more. She dug a hole in the bottom me to the shore. She don't wanna be my friend no more. She dug a hole in the bottom of my soul. She is all, and everything else is small.
That was lo-fi.
Well, that was probably the least lo-fi track of the of the record. Unfortunately, you could hear it's still lo-fi in the sense that like the guitar, the slide guitar, and the drum and the bass very nicely produced and recorded, but the voice you could hear it's like it's in the other room, and it has
Yeah,
like
but Santi, I have to disagree until you prove me wrong. Lo-fi, for me at least, doesn't mean it's poorly produced.
it actually as a genre that's what it means. It means that like you will have ambient sound, like basically you will have the sound of the room where it was recorded, or from the street if you can hear it in
Yeah,
the
but
in the
that's not
mic.
bad. But that's not bad, and it can be.
No,
can
it's
be-
not bad, but that's lo-fi. Like imagine Steely Dan would
No, of
never
course.
have that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah. It's a contra to this overproduced stuff.
Yeah,
I totally
it's
agree.
the music is strong enough that like the recording technique is not the most important thing. That's what lo-fi is. Like
Is
usually
it safe to
lo-fi.
say that those first this McCartney 1 album was one of the very first lo-fi?
No,
productions?
not at all.
A lot of people say that.
Nah, it's really like a lo-fi record. Usually, it's recorded on a 4-track mixer. You basically overdub on on the same channel because you don't have enough channels. You only have 4. So basically, you don't care too much about the fact that you kind of degrade the sound during the recording, or that there is some outside parasitic sounds in the recording. Like again, like lo-fi was Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson is like the essence of lo-fi. Someone like Yandek is very lo-fi as well. It's literally that, like, yeah. I'm not going to repeat the same thing we've already said, but Beck, the very first recordings are 100% lo-fi. This is an album that was recorded in, I think, in 1994. It was released a little later, not on DGC. This was the contract he had when he signed on the big label, that he was still allowed to do 3 albums for his old label from when he started in 1990. And see, like there's like 23 tracks on it. It's a double LP, but still, it's lots of tracks on each records, and it's, if I was like, I just put one random track, which is a very nice track. We were lucky, but there are some tracks that are way more with incidents happening in the recording. And Grasshopper is saying Sebado and Ween. Sebado 100%. Ween sometimes is very well produced, but bands like Bikini Kill, for example, originally, yeah, like we tend to call them like Riot Girl now, but back then it was a lo-fi punk rock band. But I think Loki Tito here is Robert Johnson lo-fi. Yeah, 100%. I would say so. Even if he is blues and I mean, eventually there were people who were basically revealing in this aesthetic, so that it became a sort of subgenre in itself. Yeah.
It was out there, yeah. Thank you, Justin. Okay. So, Thomas, a little less lo-fi, or you go with the flow?
Less lo-fi. I think I love the records that are lo-fi. A lot of the things that is in my collection is lo-fi, but not what
I
have.
know that you really do love Beck. That I do know.
Yeah, I collected all the Beck stuff. But this is something different. Mostly this band was known for writing songs for others. For example, for Cream.
Cream or Queen?
Cream.
But this is their own album.
Eric Clapton.
Now I'm crying in the sunshine, and I'm laughing in the rain, 'cause I won't pick your body anymore, and you won't pick my brain. When you hear midnight calling, you're away on your own, through the streets full of statues, though their hearts are pure stone. When the crosswords and the safety pins solve themselves and close for the night, maybe we'll get things together. Are we gonna put the dark right? Now I'm sad in the sunlight, and I'm laughing in the dark. You won over great battles with your last fully loaded remark. When you hear distant tigers, to their lairs you must go. Long white hands in your pockets, though your heart black as snow. When the crosswords and the safety pins solve themselves and close for the night, or maybe we'll get things together. We're gonna put the dog right. Now I'm whispering like a jet plane, and I'm roaring like a mouse. The wind that left me with the papers has carried off the house. When you hear sports cars singing, you're away down the road. Oh, the darkness is crying on the grass newly mowed. The crosswords, safety pins.
that was amazing. That was up my alley.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
if you like this, you will love the whole album.
Great stuff.
I wanted to choose between 4 tracks. I couldn't find out which one I wanted to play. It's they're good at doing text, I think, and it's from 1969. It's on Harvest, which is like a major label, and it's always sound amazing on Harvest.
Yeah, it's their only album, right?
They only made this one album. Yeah.
But there hasn't been damn it, I've lost the name. Ginger Baker at the drums, I think.
I don't know about it.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's Pete Brown is the name of the guy who is the leader of the band and
Yeah,
was the songwriter who did for Cream and those bands.
great stuff. Dante, you liked it? You have?
Yes, I did. And it was interesting to see how people were commenting on how the track keeps evolving and is somewhat unpredictable. And in that sense, that's why I chose the track I'm gonna play next. Like we're so used with contemporary music that after like 4 bars, we're already we can predict the whole structure of the track. And that's something that I always appreciate when you see a conscious effort from the artist to play around that and to subvert your expectations, and while still remaining very musical. And I'm going to play a band that I don't play that often, even if it's the most important band ever.
Nurse with Wound?
You know the band, Michael.
Okay.
You'll figure it out.
Again,
And they have there's quite some stuff happening around them right now. So let's go. Hello, Ryan.
Why is there so much about Autechre right now? Because of the tour through the US, or what do you mean?
There's a tour. They also just reissued a couple of their albums that were out of print for a long time, including this one.
Wait a second. Okay.
Yeah, Quaristis, Autechre. And when this was released, let me show you. Yeah. When this was released back in 2008, maybe, they did a CD compendium of it, like a companion, sorry, that was released in a stained steel package with extended versions of the track on this. 1,000 copies. It sold out immediately. You have to pay 300 euros to get it. And back then, I was like, I had already decided I'm done with CDs, and that was one of the few CDs I regretted it because I had it in my hands. I could have bought it, but thankfully, now they reissued this.
With the extended version.
Yeah, with the two album as a double LP. It's only basically Warp pressed that to order, so it was never commercially released in shops. They set up pre-orders. I think it was in June. No, it was before that. It was probably in May or so, and they would press to order, which means that now the only way to get it is to pay 150 euros on Discogs.
And some new stuff announced?
No, but I suspect since they are touring extensively, and one of their latest album, a 12 LP set, was
NTS sessions, right?
Yeah, it was a result of live sessions.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think since they are touring a lot now, and they're going to tour a lot next year as well in Japan, like they're doing a world tour throughout the year.
NTS sessions is 8 years ago.
Yeah, and they did Sign and Plus since then, and that's it, apart from a few remixes. So they probably have a lot of stuff. But the thing is that they don't live in the same country anymore. One is in England and one is in Norway.
Okay.
But they record everything they do.
So he lives now with Biosphere. Maybe they do something together.
Yeah. Well, although that would be nice, since Biosphere is great at music and ambience, but he's shit at rhythms. And as you could hear, Autechre is. But I just think that they will have a lot of inspiration. Getting back together on the road for such a long time now. I'm gonna go and see them in Bristol in less than a month. And
so I already thought, because I didn't follow them up so closely, I thought that they might have done things like, for example, Dem Dykes Dare, that they put out some stuff on cassette or stuff like that, but they didn't.
No, not really. Like a long time ago, yes, they did some stuff like that, but I mean, Autechre operates in a world of their own. Like the genre that Autechre does, in my opinion, is Autechre. Every track is the result of the creation of a virtual instrument on Max MSP or deep exploration of a piece of hardware. The track we just listened to amazingly was done with only one piece of hardware. This is EP7 part 2 that we listened to. Basically it's an album, but it was released as an EP, a 2-part vinyl EP. The CD is like
when was that?
97 or 98. So you can hear how futuristic it still sounds in many ways. And yeah, as people were saying, unpredictable, interesting rhythms. I think that track, you get all of that, plus very nice, beautiful melodies that kind of go there, have their own life, a life of their own, etc. And the drumming. I mean, it's programmed, but not necessarily programmed in the traditional way that, like with a drum machine, it's programmed, but depending on the gear they use, some of it might be self-generated with parameters, and then they will do live takes of it and then edit it or not. Last time I spoke with them, they told me that like they release like basically 90% of everything they do. So that means I don't know, they have probably a hyper focused way of doing, and producing in the studio and producing on stage, there's not really any difference for them anymore, which is why there's a lot of their records now are the result of live recordings. And Daniel asked if they were before Radiohead. Definitely influenced. Autechre is a big influence on Radiohead. They've been on the record on that for sure. And yeah, they're currently, there's soon, I think it was Ivan who was saying they're playing in St. Louis tonight, but like in less than a month, they'll be back in Europe and playing in a bunch of cities, small and big.
Nice. For how long?
I'm not totally sure. Like, I guess maybe till December. I think in February, I think they're in Japan. So I don't really know if it ever stops right now. It's they must have fun, and people are fascinated by them. Obviously, more and more. I've been like really like, it's probably the most influential band in my musical upbringing. Well, top 3 for sure, and I've been buying their records since 92, 93, and
Are you a Autechre completionist?
you know what? Funny you mentioned that. You know, I pride myself of never being a completist of anything.
Except for
And
Nurse's Wound, right?
no, Nurse Wound, there's a few things I don't have. Plus, I don't have the stuff that is CD only. I don't care for that anymore. Even if I'm happy when they release it on vinyl eventually. But with Autechre, so there's Autechre records, compilations with Autechre tracks, remixes they do for other bands.
A lot, right? A lot.
There's they have a couple of alias, like other names under which they collaborate with other people. And up until recently, I didn't have any reason to not have every single record they did. But recently they did a remix on an EP compilation that I thought like, nah, I don't need it.
Okay.
And yesterday I ordered it because I gave it a new chance, and I thought, no, now I get it. Because that's one of the bands also that ever since the mid-90s, every time they release a new record, they're ahead of me. Like culturally, maybe intellectually, and sometimes it takes me like maybe a year before I
That
get
can be
it.
dangerous with Autechre release.
Yeah.
Waiting a year.
But you have some Autechre records, right,
Yeah,
Michael?
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I love it.
Hmm.
Thomas, you have Autechre records?
Yeah, I came late into collecting them, but I every time I see one I don't have, I pick that up. So
Cannot go wrong with Autechre in a way.
Even when you go wrong with them, even if you buy a record of them, if you kind of are interested in them, and if you like some of their stuff, when you buy a record of theirs that doesn't click with you, either keep it and try it a year later, or at worst case scenario, it would still be an interesting experience to confront yourself to the music for a little while. There's stuff you buy you don't like, and it gives you nothing. Autechre will, even if you don't like it, it will give you something.
Thomas, what do you give us now?
He was member of a big pop band in the 80s, but I don't think many know him for his solo stuff.
I've been looking at this world like I was standing out in space. We're in a sky that's full of planets, but it's still a lonely place. You can ask us any question, we can hang out here all night. We might think we got the answers, but we'll never get it right. If you think there is a place, try and run away from here. Even if you were a ray of light, it will take 1,000,000 years. No man can stop this world, just the moon can turn the tides. But we will never get to heaven while we're fighting for our lives. No. But it's still a lonely place. No man can stop this world, just the moon can turn the tides. But we will never get to heaven while we're fighting for our lives. No.
little 80 stuff. 1983.
Tell
Tony
us
Wilson.
about it, please.
It's a track that I had on the record player a lot today. It sounds a really good sound to it when I hear it here in the office. He was one of the founder of Hot Chocolate, which was like a big pop
Okay.
disco rock band in the 80s.
You sexy thing.
Yeah, exactly. He played the bass, and he made 3 solo albums, and this was a dub version of Hanging Out in Space from 1983.
I was about to say that, like, it was very, very dubby, that track.
Yeah.
The production on the drum machines, the bass line. Yeah.
Even the normal version is a little dubby, I think.
Is this a super rare, expensive record, Thomas?
Yeah, pretty well. It's not like €100 record, I would say.
Okay, they're rare starts.
That's the rare start. Yeah.
It's like anything that's not cheap. Can you get anything under 100 euros anymore? Either it's cheap or it becomes expensive for most
that's
part.
true. Almost no middle part.
Yeah.
But there is.
I mean, of course, there's exceptions, but like when you are focused like we are, like, well, you have to be ready to spend $100 more often than you wish to.
Of course, get used to it, Stunty. So, what did you have on your turntable?
Something that's kind of right in between this and the track I played before, or the band I played before. It's a band I started that had a very long career as well. That started in the mid-70s, and this is a track from the period in their career that most people hate, say that that's when they were rubbish. And I believe that there needs to be a reevaluation of that period. I think it's actually maybe their most interesting period, even if there was a massive input from a person that would end up being very influential for modern music behind this, and this is probably one of their more poppy songs ever. So
Okay.
was lo-fi.
Don't walk away. Just go on and on. Don't walk away. Just go on and on. Higher your conviction. If people talk, don't listen. Don't turn away, 'cause nothing's safe. No, you can't pick an easy way. Don't walk away. Just go on and on. 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 Don't walk away. Just go on and
Yeah, Cabaret Voltaire, huh?
Cabaret Voltaire, at the tail end of their house period that started in '87 when they met with Robert Gordon, who was the boss of the Fun Studio in Sheffield, which where they're from as well. Robert Gordon, who comes from the sound system culture, he was producing Yazoo, Erasure, and bands like that. Also, Test Department, and he had this band called Forge Masters that had early rave hits, underground hits that are really, really good. The production on the drums, you can feel that like this is highly influenced by Chicago house, like the claps and the rawness.
But what was the name of the album where we have "Thank You America"? Do you remember that?
You mean KLF? No.
No. Cabaret Voltaire.
Oh yeah.
Thank
No,
You
that's
America.
before. That's before.
That is before, but
Yeah.
it goes a little bit into that direction.
Well,
already.
the problem I have, I like early Cabaret Voltaire, and then I like them again with the house period and the stuff they did after. But like the early mid '80s, when they're trying to be pop stars a little bit
Cool,
and
yeah.
doing like when they try to make industrial fashionable in the club, I never liked it. I think it has aged terribly bad. Maybe back then it had a meaning, but so
it had for sure. It had for sure. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I still love it. But that is maybe due to memory lane. You know how it is, right?
This I can still play in a set, and so Robert Gordon, the guy from the Forge Master, who basically helped them reinvent themselves in a good way in house music. He's one of the 3 co-founders of Warp Records.
Really?
And history has kind of forgotten him because he existed after 2 years only, because he was more focused on dance music, and the others that wanted to go the artificial.
Was he part of that unbelievable 7-inch? You know, there is this Warp 7-inch that started a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When you hear it, you know. Damn, I always forget the name of that 7-inch. You know that it's a master.
On Warp,
I think so. Yeah, of course, on Warp.
I don't think so, but I'm so happy to I'll gladly be proven wrong.
I will look it up.
Yeah.
I always forget the title.
Anyways, this one was released on Les Disques du Crépuscule in Belgium, which had worked with Cabaret Voltaire for a long time. But Disques du Crépuscule were not really a dance music label. And this is like 1991. And yeah, that's kind of the end of their house period. Then Richard Kirk would do more like electronica and dub electronic music. And yeah, this is still kind of under the radar. Like a few years ago, like 5 years ago, there was like a book written on Bleep House, which is basically this brand of house music. And so it's become fashion.
And you now need a new copy. Yeah, or did it survive?
No, it was just dust on the. I hadn't played that in some time, and yeah, I had put, because of that, some liquid on it, which was very effective. But like the result is, yeah.
Cabaret Voltaire. Wow, amazing band. Thomas, you like it too, right? I think we already talked about Cabaret Voltaire.
Yeah, I really like it. I don't know why it reminded me of the next song I'm playing.
Doesn't matter, it did.
Yeah, but because I don't think it has anything in common, because this is much earlier. Yeah, it could continue the whole night. It's a long track. It's changed so much during the minutes. So, and this one was I think really extremely rare with the glow in the dark label and
glow. Finally, glow in the dark.
label and the promo splatter thing.
Okay.
And it's not often that it comes with the sleeve as well, which is
Okay. You know that track, Stunty?
I don't think so, no. But
Well,
what
you
is
liked
it? Is it?
it, huh?
Is it Cecil? What is it?
Yeah, it's Cecil with the La Room Baker, which
Okay.
is not that well known, but he did some really, really rare disco tracks in the late 70s. So this is from 1978.
Okay.
With that, wait a second, but not in that vinyl, right?
Yeah.
That vinyl came out in 1978.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but I had some jazz records the other day from the 50s looking like this. So it's not
Okay. Crazy. Wasn't aware of that. It has been that early. Hello, Alex.
And I don't think it's been sold on Discogs since 2021. It's extremely.
Wow. Okay.
And here's an extra copy that is on the OPC now.
Oh.
Well, I'll play you a record from 1979 then, a year later.
Wow. Picture disc?
Yeah.
Okay.
And since people are trying to make Thomas and me compete, which is impossible, we both lose or we both win.
Exactly. Yeah, they are fighting. You're right. They are fighting, but in a very nice way.
But yeah, so disco, huh? Okay.
Okay. Oh.
And as Thomas, this just keeps going on and on and on and on.
That was so funny and crazy, but has to be a French record, of course.
Yeah.
80s, 70s.
No, 79, and Estraclancios, that's the only record he did under that name. In reality, he's a French composer. He's like 50 years old when he does that.
Okay.
And he was part of the Michel Legrand orchestra. And, well, I mean, he was doing music he was conducting and releasing music in the 40s. And that's his take on disco. And it's this beautiful picture disc that you can find it in France. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's expensive, sometimes it's fairly cheap, but it's fairly cheap, not too expensive. But finding a good copy of it, especially, I mean, there's a regular version, but I've tested both, and they sound exactly the same.
They do. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because you know what we think about picture discs.
I think the same, but sometimes you're lucky.
Nice.
Did you know this one, Thomas?
No, I didn't know it, but it's. I will look into if I can find one of those.
Looks like that when you put it together inside. So it's a pretty cool package.
It is, but normally I don't like picture discs, but this one sounded really good.
Yeah.
Still disco time, or is disco time over?
I can do disco forever. So
I can imagine. I just renamed the stream, Dante Thomas, Wall of Records Disco with a twist.
yeah. So now the twist is more funky and a little more hip hop.
Welcome, come on in, everyone is looking for. We got just what you want, and a whole lot more.
So we're here just to make you feel good, doing all of the funky things that you think we should. We're here to see if you're all around.
Everybody, get on down.
Now we could simply call it a treasure full of pleasure. Instead, pretty late, I'll tell you what we're gonna do.
Gonna say this. This party's just for you. Come on, lady. This party's just for you.
I hope you like it too. From the thought that you had in your mind, we all lay back and thought about it. You know that it took some time. Well, sweet lady, doing it just for you.
Get up, shake your body,
and show us what you can do.
Gotta use this. This party's just for you. Come on, lady. This party's just for you. I hope you like it too.
Get up and shake your thing, cause I'm Sam, and I'm ready to swing. And I'll put this party on the go with my punk, then my gigolo. I do a back over flip on the floor, and I get back up and do some more. You see, partying, that is my game. Say, sweet lady, what's your name?
I'm Sin, and I'm a sexy girl that's here to give your life a twirl. We'll party and have some fun, and I'll bet you'll see that I'm the one. You can hold me tight all through the night until we get that feeling right.
Oh, party, baby, party.
Yeah, and now one that keep on forever. We are halfway through.
Okay. So part 2 next week.
It's 1981. Special Touch.
Special Touch.
Yeah, they made a few 12 inches, and this was the first one. I think they made one in 84 and 85 as well. I think it has the same as the track I played last week, like the feeling of the Another One Bites the Dust track on it.
Yeah. That is very well put. Is it difficult to get one?
No, very difficult,
Very difficult.
I think.
So, Stunty, don't bother.
What? You don't know. You don't know.
I think there's one for sale. So
Yeah, it's very long songs. Stunty, you have prepared something for us?
Yeah.
And what we want?
It's an unusual record. It's a record that could be worth 500 euros or 5. It's just under the radar, but there's someone quite famous in it, in music, that should normally make this record more. Oh well, you'll figure you'll figure out for yourself. It's a weird little record, like the kind we love.
That was lovely.
Yeah, it's a one-off project, indeed, by Dennis Young from the marimba player of Liquid Liquid, the no wave band, a very influential band from New York. So Oya and indeed Big Mouth. This was never compiled, never reissued to the best of my knowledge. So it's just a 2-track single from '87. So Manfred and Gas both. I don't know how much Shazam had to do with that or none. Usually it doesn't have anything to do with anything with Manfred, right?
No, Manfred knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Trust me on that part.
But it's a record that it's easy to pass by and to never know what it is. Did you know it, Thomas?
No, I don't know it.
Yeah, and I think Excepsilon, that little Depeche Mode level 42, that's yeah.
Why is everyone trying to force Depeche Mode into everything?
And a lot, right?
Yeah.
Everything that comes from the 80s or later is Depeche Mode.
No, it's it's the kind of stuff they didn't do that many, and if you find it for under 20, that's nice. Like you can, but like it's
Yeah,
a
but
record that
okay, you go to a record store, then it's 25. Oh no, I wait until I find one. That's when it's
no,
under
but
20.
the thing is that like it could as well be like a €150 record. I've seen it on walls that because
Yeah,
it has
that's why I said those. If you see a copy for under 20, but if I like it, I even would spend 24. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. How often do you see that record?
That's the thing. In the end, it's only a nice little weird, funky record. But there's the historical cachet, plus the fact that it's kind of under the radar. Like if you play it, people will, if they like it, they will be curious because they won't know what it is unless it's Manfred.
He probably has it.
You know, Stéphane Debu here, Muke, he's saying that genre it's not his type of music, but he really enjoyed it. Like when I discovered it, I was like curious about the cachet. I got it for like 12 euros or something like that, just normal price for an EP. And I thought like, I don't know how much I actually like it or love it, but I think I want to listen to it a few times. And it's the kind of track you can put it in a mix, in a bar or like in a lounge or for
that's the DJ perspective, but there's a different perspective. Most of us are not DJs, Stanti. So what I always imagine when I hear music like that, or when I hear music, especially when I don't know it, what atmosphere do I have at my home when I put that on? What does it to the whole?
It gets you going.
Exactly. It would have that song, for example, or the last 4 songs would put a wonderful spirit into the room.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's always enjoyable, I think. So here's it on a compilation. Okay. See, it's on a compilation, Stanti.
All right, yeah, I had no idea about that, but it doesn't surprise me since Dennis Young is very cult now. So yeah,
you are always into the challenge. This is a challenge, by the way, but not a competitive challenge.
It's an easy one, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, last round, gentlemen. Thomas? Pick your record.
I'm not really sure if I played this one, but I don't think so. And this one, if you find it, just pick it up. Don't even think about it. We're going to Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, we haven't been there today.
And if you let me, I'll play a little bit from the other side as well. It's a double-sided 7-inch.
Of course you do.
Both sides are really good. So you get a little bit.
Of course.
living so blissfully. Try to help them and you'd see we buy things that are unnecessary.
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do? We look outside ourselves and say we're proud, but always think that our money's loud. Still, food prices going high, and we insist kiss in the sky.
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do? Are we not tired of living in the slum? Getting next to none, governed by the gun. So we stand together side by side. Come on, brothers, think of our country, think of our money, think of our time.
Think about what to do. Think about what to say. Think about what to do. Think about what to say.
To help ourselves someday.
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Black people, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do?
There's not many who know what this one is.
No.
I'm not sure that maybe we found something that Manfred not even know. I get a little bit from the other side.
Said he wanted to share my love, swore by all the stars above, you love me. First I thought you were playing a game, now I find that I'm feeling the same, baby. I think we've come to the same conclusion, girl. We're gonna love one another until we cause confusion.
Now you got it.
Yeah, girl.
Let me see what you're gonna do with it. Now you got it. Let me see what you're gonna do with it. Now you got it.
Now you got
Let me
it.
see what you're gonna do with it. Now you got it.
Now you got
Let me
it.
see what you're gonna do with it.
Got a whole life ahead of us. What to do with it is up to us. No. No, we all gonna die someday. Got the troubles on the winding road to go. You said you waited a long, long time. So girl, come on and put your heart in mine. Let me tell you, baby.
Now you got it.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me see what you're gonna do with it. Now you got it. Let me see what you're gonna do with it.
Oh, yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
Baby,
Let me see what you're gonna do.
come on, girl.
Now you got it.
Now you got
Let me
it.
see what you're gonna do with it. Now you got it. Let me see what you're gonna do.
Come on, baby.
Now you got it.
Now you got
Let me see what you're gonna do with it. Now you got it.
it.
Trinidad Tobago.
Did you know it's Dundee?
No.
Oh, it is extremely rare, and it has like a tear on the sleeve, on the label. They all had that. Nearly all of them had that because they put them together. So every
No.
time somebody had them, it looks like this.
No, you know what's happening there? If they're all like that, that means that when they were pressing it on the so basically the labels, before you press them, you cook them, you bake them, so
Yeah.
that you take out all the humidity of the paper. And if you don't do it well, the label will stick on the matrix.
Oh yeah.
And if it does that, that means that if you do like 100 records in a row, you have a bit of paper that is on there that will do that on every succeeding record.
So you know.
Last time this one was sold was in 2016.
Wow. Those crazy 7-inch collectors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. This is rare. I don't think you see that this often.
Wow.
And a little fun one, I think.
It was for sure. Yeah, both songs are really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. So, Stunty, with which song do we blend out for today?
Well, as Thomas just said, a little fun song. And for Corey Johanna, a new song for an album that was released, I don't know, a month ago on probably the greatest label of the past couple of years from Los Angeles, Living Records. They gave us all the records from the best records, at least, from Sam Gendel, the clarinet, trombone, saxophone player. But they do a lot of different stuff. We were talking about Andre 3000 last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. And here's another side of the stuff they release. It's a band, it's an indie band, and they're called Harry the Night Gone. And as I said, it's a fun little record.
Teach
So thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you so much. And if everything goes as planned, we see us next week. Same channel. Bye.